to the Poorly Written Podcast, the only podcast where if you ask us to brush off your car, we're going to build a snowman on top of it.
But only two in each yard.
Yeah.
Okay.
but like socially distant from each other, so there's one on the hood and one in the, like by the trunk.
You know,
On the hood?
On the hood.
Yeah, we're going to build a snowman on the hood of a car. It's a new hood ornament.
One in the backyard.
you guys want to know something sad? I've never built a snowman.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, so
Well, you live in the city.
I wouldn't be. Well, I could now, but I wouldn't be very helpful in this endeavor. I would
you
take
should
photos, though.
run outside right now and build a snowman.
I got to watch my puppy play like a 5-year-old.
Oh,
I did the mothering thing. I went out in the cold
Sarah,
with him.
don't even bother recording the episode today. You just run outside in the darkness.
Yeah, you go outside right now. Outside
You want me to
in
go
the
out?
dark. Yeah,
in the Bronx.
It's like
I
I
feel like you got-
8:18. It's fine.
wait. So just to clarify, you guys want me to go outside in the dark in the Bronx?
And build a snowman.
Yes.
Yes. Build a snowman by yourself.
You can really see the upstateness right now.
Oh, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. That's how we're starting
Zach, you-
today's episode.
Zach, you were here for 4 days. You know nothing.
It seemed safe when I was there. It seemed fine. People couldn't tell if it was your dog barking or me barking, so it was cool.
You know, I felt safe for walking with you. You're a big guy.
I
it's
am.
Not as safe. It's not as safe when I do it alone at night.
All right.
You
well,
We're a minute and a half into this recording and we're already off the rails.
I know.
Like,
This isn't an episode about New York City. This is our holiday episode. So happy holidays, Sarah. To you specifically, a happy Hanukkah.
Oh, thank you.
I know that ends tomorrow. Based on today's
Yeah.
recording, you people can figure it out.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to you guys. We might not, record before all that. Well, we will, but not on
Maybe,
the,
I
they
don't
won't
know.
hear that. We'll see.
Well, that's
Merry
logistical
Christmas.
stuff. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
See, I just said happy holidays.
Well, happy holidays to everyone. But I know all of you celebrate Christmas, so Merry Christmas.
It's not that hard to say happy holidays. To be
No,
honest.
I'm so used
I
to
mean,
just saying happy holidays at this point. I mean,
I say happy holidays.
I did
Elementary
too.
school, how much you've brainwashed us.
I tried, but Starbucks also tried, and they get criticized every year for that.
I feel like no matter what
from that
Starbucks
Yeah.
does,
situation, they get criticized for literally everything they do.
yeah,
How it works.
Starbucks just they have to flaunt their stuff. They know their rep. It doesn't matter what they do. They could literally give every they could give money to like Christian non-for-profits and stuff like that, and people would say they're trying to take the Christ out of Christmas and stuff like that. But or they're like
Right.
the war on Christmas, which doesn't exist. It's a myth. Anyways,
The only
but
way it exists is in B movies.
basically, we're way off track. It's the holiday episode.
Yes, we are.
Jeez,
But we're talking about holiday things.
Jeez, all I wanted for Christmas was to stay on topic for one episode. I'll try again next year.
That's not gonna happen.
I'll try again next
Yeah.
year. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I know it's in high demand for a lot of podcasters.
You know, maybe if Hanukkah and Christmas meet up again, it could happen.
maybe the stars
With me in
align
the
and
mix,
Christmas and
the stars
Hanukkah
align.
line up. I mean, where can you go wrong?
Yeah. That would be amazing. That it hasn't happened in a little bit.
It's been a hot minute, but we'll fix it. But anyways,
Yeah, Hanukkah changes the date every year.
yeah.
So
As Sarah pointed out earlier, most of us in this episode right now celebrate Christmas. That's the go-to one. We're just talking about our holiday stuff, and now that we're actually talking about it, I actually have some thoughts about some of the holiday stuff. Some of us do it regularly every year, and I have questions, several questions. They're very
About
they're-
what?
about what?
About what?
Okay. So this is usually a popular thought around this time of year because people watch Christmas movies during Christmas time, except for those weirdos who watch them all year round. there are people out there that are just like, can't wait for more Christmas, can't wait for my face to hurt because of snow.
You're like referring to the weirdos that like watch a Muppets Christmas Carol all year round, or like the people that revolve their personality around The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh.
Those are two very.
The Nightmare
people.
Before Christmas is tasteful. That's the difference.
Yes, but you need to really revolve your whole personality around it.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
like The Nightmare Before Christmas is such a weird movie because it falls in October, but also Christmas. So it's like,
I feel like you could get away with that movie any time of year just because it's kind of so just the way it's shot.
I don't
and the
even
way...
think it's a Christmas movie, to be
I don't
honest.
think
I
so.
think it's just
Yeah.
another Disney animated movie.
I mean, yeah, you can like put in the category of Halloween, Christmas, but I think that movie could be watched year round and it would be fine.
I've watched it year round. I've watched it in March before. I've watched it in July. I mean, like, it just depends.
Yeah, it's
Good for any
just
time of year.
it's such a good movie. The real question is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
I say
my.
yes just to piss people off. I just say
Not
yes,
this
just people
damn
are like,
debate again.
Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. I'm like, what do you mean? Of course it is. It's the season of giving the bad guys what they deserve.
Ironic.
Let-
Oh, sorry. You go, Hannah, and I'll go right after.
But it's Hanukkah. You go first.
Oh, thank you. No, I was just saying for one of my classes, film genre, we watched holiday movies in quotation marks, and the two movies we watched were Die Hard and The Nightmare Before Christmas, actually. And so I watched them, and I was like, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I was like, it's just like an action movie that just takes place on Christmas.
I mean, that's just the thing, too, because, like, if we're going based off that logic that, like, it is a Christmas movie, then the first Spider-Man is technically a Thanksgiving movie.
That's exactly what I was about to get at.
I mean,
So
like,
glad Sarah went first.
how many movies have just been based around holidays and stuff?
Oh, did you see the
crap
new
ton.
Did you see the new Netflix movie Holiday?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, it's so like these two single people agree to be each other's dates for the holidays, so their like families and stuff stop like harassing them about why they're single.
Let me guess, they fall in love?
Well, yeah, it's a Netflix rom-com holiday movie.
You-
Of course
Sounds
they
like a
do.
Hallmark rom-com, if you ask me. I almost said Walmart instead of Hallmark.
I bet you they're selling some right now.
No,
But
now
then-
I'm all of a sudden more interested in a Walmart rom-com. Like, do they have the employees just act it out as Walmart employees?
You know, just watch
Well, nobody
Superstore
in
on.
the pickup line.
You know, just watch Superstore on NBC.
It's essentially a Walmart rom-com.
It's fair.
Fair enough.
But, like, I want it produced at a Walmart quality.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
See now?
Okay.
It's totally in-house. Everything's in-house. Like, the pre-production, the production, post-production, distribution, marketing. It's just all Walmart and great value.
Fair enough. Fair
See,
enough.
now that's an idea, but Walmart would never go for it. Or so I think. But anyways,
Have you guys ever seen the meme of the Walmart choir holiday album?
yeah, I have. It's like that's
Yeah.
why there's only 3 cashiers out available. They're in the back dropping sick beats and singing a choir.
I'm gonna find that album someday. And
I'm just curious what possessed someone to be like, you know what Walmart needs? And they're like, what? And they're like, we need our own choir,
Christmas album.
but we need a
Eyes of a
Christmas
child.
album."
You know what I realized? I won't really ever be going to Walmart again all that much, will I?
Well, you did just graduate college, so yeah. So-
Yeah, because Walmart is not really in my area.
no,
like at all.
it's not.
So I just realized that. Me and Walmart have parted ways.
Sarah, you got the greatest gift. You got your college degree, but you also get all the debt that comes with it.
I don't have that much debt because of that RA job, though. Hey.
Okay, but we don't like snitches either, so you know there's trade-offs with that.
You know, I remember y'all made fun of me for that job, but I'm barely leaving with any debt. Johnson gave me 2 upper division credits. That's the only reason I was able to graduate early. So they saved me like another semester of tuition.
Well,
We're
there you go.
vibing.
You played the system, you won, but just know deep down inside, I think you're a snitch.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Sarah,
Really
Still
had
goes
to-
against you.
Barely had to do anything.
I hold nothing against you except for that.
If I move to LA, I'll invite you guys down, and then you'll forgive me.
You'll remember us little people.
Yeah, when you get out to LA, remember to leave extra room in your luggage so I can sneak in and join you.
Yes.
Because that's how it's gonna work. I'll do a whole podcast episode from the luggage itself.
LA is my dream, so hopefully eventually I'll get there.
We're off topic. I was trying to talk about Christmas movies and stuff.
Like, It's a Wonderful Life.
The interesting thing is, like, one of the, I think the SUNY Barstool page was doing, like, their, holiday March Madness bracket, and Elf won the whole thing. And I gotta say, Elf is really good, but it's not, like, the best Christmas movie ever.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
There's nothing I love more around this time of year than talking about the movie Elf. Not the movie itself, but just how it came to be.
I think Elf is still good. That's the interesting thing, is that when it came out, people thought it was going to fade away after a few years, and now it's 2020 and people are still crazy about Elf.
That was Will Ferrell's first movie after he left SNL. That was like his first big thing. That was either going to make or break his career, and he knew it too. And here we are, almost 20 years later, and it's still like a cult classic.
I don't even think you can call it a cult classic, because everybody just knows Elf and they watch Elf, and it's just been added to that all-star roster of holiday movies. So
yeah, a cult classic.
I've never seen Elf, so
He's never built a snowman.
Never built a snowman. Never seen Elf. What else, Sarah?
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know. I've never really watched Christmas movies, so
I mean, it's understandable, but there's also, like, the snowman thing is just a winter thing. It's not just a Christmas
that's not a
thing.
holiday thing. But, like, I don't like snow. It's cold. It's messy. It's inconvenient. Dogs pee on it.
Yeah, dogs.
Like,
dogs pee on anything. They will pee on anything.
Why am I gonna touch snow?
Because snow is great.
Drunk people pee in the snow. People pass out and die in snowbanks. Snow is a terrible thing.
Enjoy talking about people peeing in snow. Let me It's a Wonderful Life for a moment, because I know there are quite a few fans in this episode. I don't know if you guys heard, but there is a charity event where they're doing a table read of the script for It's a Wonderful Life. It's not a reboot. They're not remaking the movie. But the person that's playing the main character in this table read for charity, not being paid for it, is Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. You know, the one that was engaged to Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Mike, I know you really like It's a Wonderful Life. Like, what are your feelings on that? Are you one of those people that's like, oh, what the hell is going on here?
We'll see what happens, is my response to it.
Right.
Basically. Because
if it was a reboot, I'd probably be like, okay, why Pete Davidson?
Yeah.
But it's a table for charity. It's not like he's getting paid to do it.
Exactly.
I don't where the outrage is coming from. He's doing it for free. And it's a table read of a script. I just don't get it.
People are just angry, and Pete Davidson just has that aura around him, where he's just sort of as that asshole.
Well, isn't It's a Wonderful Life, like, isn't that like a serious movie about this guy who, like, I could be wrong here, but this is like just based on my like general knowledge, like, this guy, doesn't he like want to like kill himself on Christmas, and like this angel like basically tells him like, or shows him why he shouldn't? Isn't it like kind of a heavy movie?
It is. Yeah. It is, because like they spend so long setting up the setting, and then they really dive into this like this existential crisis, or this life crisis, where the guy is just like, I didn't get to do the things I wanted to do. And, you know, my brother got to go play hero, and I had to stay behind and save the business and all that stuff.
Yeah, so
The ending's a really good turnaround, though. I mean, like, it just, you know.
I know, like, the end, him and his family are together and they're happy, but, like, Pete Davidson, I like Pete Davidson, I think he's a very funny comedian, but he's a comedian in what seems like a very heavy role. So how do you, but he's gone through some tragedy, too. He's gone through tragedy, too, so do you think...
Yeah.
So how do you think he'll play it?
I mean, part of me is like, does it really matter? It's a table read. But I think
it's not like they're doing a full-fledged remake of the movie. It's just a table read.
I think it does matter a little bit just because of the content.
Not to the point where I'm sitting here caring about it, like when Will Smith was cast as the genie from Aladdin. Like, I sat and pondered how he was going to take on that role. But like I said, Pete Davidson's sitting down at a table and slightly being a character, being a script with a bunch of other people. If it was a movie remake, I'd be like, no. And I love Pete Davidson. I liked Pete Davidson before he was trendy, you know?
Are you gonna like Pete Davidson after he removes all of his tattoos? Because that was a story I saw circulating today.
That's interesting.
I looked this up, and it's like the third Google search for Pete Davidson. It's like he is apparently getting all of his tattoos removed.
I don't know how much I believe that, to be honest.
That's painful.
U.S. Weekly. There's a lot of credible sources on this.
I'll have to look it up, man.
It's like the third Google search.
After Pete Davidson, Ariana Grande, or Pete Davidson.
If you just type in Pete Davidson, right? You go to Google. I'm going to even remove the tattoo removal from it, and it's like net worth, dad, and then tattoo removal. Or at least that's what my search is showing me. I mean, it could be different for different people, but yeah. I mean, it's a Wonderful Life. I mean, I'm sure there's been other adaptations, lesser adaptations we haven't seen of it. So it's just going to be another adaptation of it.
Did you get? Oh, sorry.
I mean, the other thing, holiday movies really don't get remade, but there's a part of me that feels like I'm not trying to push the remake market, but I feel like there's a very few like cartoon holiday movies that could use a touch up.
Well, like the Frosty the Snowman type thing,
something like that. Like some of them could use like a touch up, or like, oh, we took the same voices but we reanimated the movie and like, you know, we made it look better.
Right.
You know.
I don't know, man. That's the best thing with like the class.
I'm just saying it's a bit of a stretch, but you know.
I mean, it'll probably end up better than the sloppy cycle of the Grinch, because you had the animated one back in like the 60s or 70s. Then you had the Jim Carrey one.
That one's an absolute classic.
And then they did the animated one. And then NBC just made it a musical, and people hated it. Not a musical, but a play. People hated the way he looked and everything.
Live for television performance, and that was just super cringeworthy.
Matthew Morrison did a great job.
Yeah, that's what I knew it starred him, but that was
the whole.
Literally, if I wanted to watch something so cringy, I'd watch The Room 10 times.
Ooh.
And I'd still get more enjoyment.
Now that's not a holiday movie.
Did you guys see the AV Club and what they wrote?
No.
Not about the Grinch, but they wrote, their headline was why there will never be a good Hanukkah movie. And I was dead laugh. I was dying. I was like, damn.
You hear that, Hallmark? Challenge accepted? Question
no,
mark.
No.
Hallmark
already did that last year, and it was terrible. No, they did it last year. They did 2 last year, and they sucked. They were like masquerading as
How do you
like,
think
Hanukkah
we
films.
feel about all the Christmas movies they managed to keep pumping out every year?
Well, that's not our fault. Damn. You can't blame No, Hallmark tried it, and I was just like, I kind of liked it better when they weren't trying to represent us because it was so terrible. I was like, this is worse.
Sarah, you're saying no to more representation? What's going on?
I want more representation, just not from Hallmark, who's making these Hanukkah movies about Christmas. I was like, what is this mess? I was excited.
Hanukkah movies about Christmas.
I was like, they were like masquerading as Hanukkah movies. Like one was about someone who like had to pretend like they were Christian, or someone had to like plan like a whole Hanukkah party. I was like, what is this mess? I was so confused.
What is this trash?
It's okay. It's all right. We'll eventually have our Hanukkah movie in like 60 years, right? Like right before I die, I'll see a good Hanukkah movie. And that's when I know it'll be okay to go to the other side.
I must go. Heaven needs me.
Hannah, you were trying to say something?
I have a confession here. It goes along with what Sarah's saying, but I don't want any. These past 2-3 weeks, I have developed a new guilty pleasure, and I have been watching The Nanny.
It's a great show.
That's a good show.
That's not anything bad. The Nanny's not that bad. It's good.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, well, I was a little ashamed of it, and I'm glad I finally was able to tell them. I don't really know. I felt very guilty and weird about it, because I don't know. I never hear people talk about Fran Drescher or The Nanny.
I like it.
You gotta understand, like, The Nanny is like a show that was competing with all these other big name sitcom shows. So it kind of, it's not like it was like terrible. It was good, but it was competing with bigger fish, like.
Yeah, it got lost in the shuffle a little bit.
It's like Charles Barkley, like he's there, but.
Anyway,
it's like
hell if I remember.
It's there, but it's not great.
He's there, but he's not doing anything.
I was watching this episode from season 6, and it was Fran was already married to Maxwell, who was a British Christian. She just found out she was pregnant, and the episode was the first night of Hanukkah, and her husband and the stepdaughter and his co-worker got into a car accident the first night of Hanukkah, and they weren't even going to be there for the first night, and she was all upset about it. So then everybody's at the house celebrating Hanukkah, and they get into this car accident, and it was the really early 90s, so the cell phones were still attached in the car, and they weren't hearing from them, and it was a snowstorm, and she's freaking out, and she's talking about the miracles of Hanukkah, and then a nun from next door happens to come over, and they start talking about Christianity and stuff, and then they just sit there and pray together, and I thought it was really odd. I'm like, they really idolize the fact that Fran is Jewish in this show, and I really liked it, but then the one time that Hanukkah finally comes around after 6 seasons, they make it about Christianity in the end.
Ooh.
Like, right after they're done praying outside the house, Maxwell and Gracie show up, along with Cece, but we don't care about Cece that much. But yeah, just like thanking the nun and stuff for praying with her, and then I don't know, like the whole subject.
I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something.
I mean, it generally goes that way when they do a Hanukkah celebration. I mean, I would give maybe the Goldbergs a little more credit on ABC because it's about a Jewish family, but they did like Super Hanukkah to compete with their neighbors like Super Christmas, which I thought was kind of funny. But like, it tends to fall that way, and what my argument would maybe be is that most of America, even if you all are different denominations, it's mostly a Christian country. And there is a lot of anti-Semitism in this country. It's not really widely talked about, but it's definitely there. So I think that's part of it. I also think, it's hard to maybe talk about that holiday. With my family, half of my family is Christian, the other half is Jewish. And it's sometimes kind of funny when we used to go over for the holidays, it was always a little different, especially even with how they wrapped the gifts were a little different, and you understood why, because they were trying to be respectful, because Hanukkah also has colors, just like Christmas has, like you guys have red and green, we have colors too, which ours are silver and blue. So
yeah.
So I understand it. I just wish and Hanukkah is not the most important Jewish holiday, so I don't get too crazy over that. The ones I would get mad at if they were really, really misrepresented is Passover and Rosh Hashanah, and the most specific one is Yom Kippur. If they mess up Yom Kippur, I think that's really very big detriment to the Jewish community.
So we have our Jewish correspondent telling us the rankings of each Jewish holiday. Good to know. I'm not dunking on any of them because I think they're great holidays, but I'm not Jewish, so I don't observe them. But does anybody... I might be dating myself, but does anybody remember Blue's Clues doing their holiday episode a long time ago, where they not only had Christmas and Hanukkah, they also had Kwanzaa and I think one more.
Remember that? I love that one. I was like, yes.
I can't remember that.
Okay, so I'm dating myself, but I remember this episode very vividly. And they're like, there's Christmas. I'm like, I love Christmas. And then they're like, and then there's other holidays. And then I asked my mom, I'm like, why can't we celebrate those holidays too? And she's like, oh, because we don't observe Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. And I'm like, oh, but why not? And I was at that age where I just kept asking why.
Why, Ma? Why?
Why? I want more holiday cheer. And she's like, no, we don't do that. I'm pretty sure I sent my mom in a little small holiday existential crisis.
This is why Blue's Clues really was the best children's show.
We need to go in depth about Blue's Clues and the impact. There's a whole... I guarantee you, if you're like a grad student trying to write your thesis about sociology thesis on like a TV show, Blue's Clues, go for it.
You know what?
Just put us in sources at the end of the paper.
But you know what the best Blue's Clues? It was the Blue's Clues movie. I could watch that now and it would still slap. Like when they did like their little concert thing, like and like that movie slaps. I watched it a few years back when I was old, just because it was on. I was like, that slaps.
There's a lot of great shows and stuff around this time of year, but I'm gonna move on. What are some gifts that you guys have gotten before? That you know, good gifts, bad gifts, weird gifts, because the weird thing, and this is true, the older I've gotten, the more grateful I have become to get socks for Christmas. Yes. Like, especially thick socks. Like, thick boys, you know, for my feet, because my feet get cold when I drive. So I'm always grateful for when I get socks, and especially socks I can use, you know, the same day. I don't know.
We're like talking about our best gifts ever.
Best gifts, worst gifts, weird gifts, stuff that made you, you know, force a smile. It's like, oh wow, this is great. Thanks, aunt/uncle. You know, insert name here.
Oh, okay. Do you guys all know that new Davy Diggs song, "Puppy for Hanukkah"?
Can't say I do.
No, I don't.
It's okay.
You're gonna have to send links after.
I'll send links. It's very cute. But Cyrus was a Hanukkah puppy when Hanukkah, for like the first time in 100 years, fell in November. We got him on a week after my birthday on Hanukkah. So Cyrus was a puppy for Hanukkah.
That's nice. Dogs are nice.
Yeah, very nice.
I mean, usually they're like, hey, don't get animals for Christmas because most of them end up going back.
I mean, my family's pretty responsible when we adopt.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, oh, your parents are terrible people for getting you a puppy. I'm like, no, if you're going to keep the dog forever, then go for it.
I mean, it's been 7 years, I think.
I don't know. I think the return policy's 8, so, you know, you got a little bit of time.
You got some wiggle room.
Not much. That warranty ends soon. That's a good one, though. I think this is like me as a professional gift giver, you know. Animals like puppies or kittens on Christmas Day is so overdone. But that's just me being the asshole I am.
To be honest, I did get a dog for Christmas when I was a kid. Honestly, still one of my favorite gifts of all time. I loved that dog. But I don't really know anybody else that got animals for Christmas. I think Sarah's one of the first people.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody has that taboo that they're gonna get this animal and then it's just gonna go. But unfortunately, my dog was actually hit by a car a few years later, Yeah, not to bring down the mood, but like no, we didn't get rid of them or anything. And we found out at that point my mom was pregnant too. Like it was a very crazy time, and for some reason we still thought it was okay to get a puppy.
It's just a very weird time. It's just a lot of angles going on.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like my grandparents were moving in. My mom found out she was pregnant. My oldest brother was coming around, and my parents were like, you know what Hannah wants for Christmas? A puppy. Let's go get this 10-year-old puppy.
You know what needs to go into this crock pot of a situation? A puppy. I'm sure this will be fine. This will go. This will end well. So like we got 2 people with animals on Christmas. How do you even hide an animal? Like, clearly you go pick it up Christmas Eve, but, like, how do you hide an animal overnight? And it'd be like, oh, why don't you open this first? And it's like, why does the present have holes in it? It's like, just open it quick.
I actually got an answer for this one. I was asking for I asked for a puppy for my birthday that year. I asked for a puppy for Christmas the year before. And I happened to overhear my parents on the phone. My mom went to the grocery store Christmas Eve. And I heard my dad on the phone in the laundry room across the house. And all of a sudden I hear him go, how the hell are we going to hide a puppy from her, Lori? And I was like, puppy? Do I hear puppy? And then my mom came home and they sat me down. She happened to see an ad on the bulletin board at the local grocery store for yellow labs. And that's what I wanted. And she's like, all right, we found one. And I guess they talked about hiding it. But no, I went and picked him up a few hours later.
Yeah, me and my sister went with my family to pick up Cyrus. We went as a family. We got the dog for my brother to bond with. They hate each other, so it didn't work out because he was supposed to be like his therapy dog. They didn't really vibe.
I can't imagine that would work out well.
No. Cyrus became overly attached to my father, the Russian spy, as dogs do.
I remember like a month before Christmas, like on and off, I brought it up. I even brought it up to Santa when we went to go visit him. And I said to my parents, I'm like, I'm really worried about Christmas. My parents are like, why? I'm like, well, I asked Santa for a puppy and I don't understand how he's going to be okay if I get the puppy. And my parents are looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, well, he can't put a puppy in a box and put it under the tree. We'll either hear it or he'll die of suffocation.
Can I ask you all a question?
What?
Like this is a Christmas question. So y'all had to like sit on Santa's lap at the mall, right? I know why parents get excited about it because they get the cute little photo with you on Santa's lap, whatever. Were you guys always excited to go see Santa at the mall? Was that like a big thing for you guys as well? Because that's a long line.
When I was like 4 or 5 and maybe 6, yeah, big deal. But then 7, I'm like, why do I have to sit on this grown man's lap?
Okay.
That's just me. I mean, it's always exciting for little kids, like not between the ages of like 1, 2, or 3, because they're terrified of the man. It's like, here comes a big burly guy trying to get you to sit on his lap. I mean, you cry and run too. But for whatever...
I cried like a baby.
My brother, I think, was the one who cried, and my sister, and then I was just like, this is kind of awkward because they're crying and I'm fine. They're fine.
I didn't go to the mall to see Santa. At my mom's job, most of my childhood, Santa would come there and like all the employees, kids, grandkids, close family friends would go there. It was a more private thing, and he got us all like one little gift, and it was a regular customer at that place. She worked at a VFW at the time, and honestly, it's one of my favorite childhood memories looking back now. And yeah, I remember when I was much younger, we would go, and I was always excited for it. Then I got there, and I was like, oh god, I want to talk to this guy. And I wasn't shy either. It's really weird. And I remember like on the way there one time with my brother and grandmother, I was like, I don't really know how I'm going to handle this. I don't think I'm going to say anything. So I just went and sat in his lap, and I just looked at him, and I didn't say a word. I didn't cry or anything. I don't know why. I think it was a good idea.
Trying to establish dominance over Santa Claus. If you just stare at him long enough,
He's just like, you're not gonna talk for me, kid. You babble any other time. And now looking back, and I know who it is. I'm like, yeah, he was right. I was very talkative with him. Got the photo and everything.
Sorry, I'm just getting all my Christmas questions out now.
That's fine. I didn't realize it was a panel question all of a sudden for a Jewish.
Like a joke in the Jewish community is that every Jewish kid really wishes they could experience Christmas, and my mom kind of tried to do it, and she got exposed real quick when we were like 5 or 6. Like, we didn't have a Christmas tree or anything, but my mom, she celebrated Christmas for most of her life, but she converted. But anyway, she her and Dad in the early morning hours snuck gifts in. I wanted a robot for whatever reason. I was really into this robot that had just come out, and they got me it. And so they're like, look, Santa, Mom said Santa, I think my dad just let her have it, came to give you this gift. My brother, 30 seconds later, he's like, nah, they were sneaking that stuff in at 5 a.m. And you can see my mom's face just drop. And then Sam later that year also ruined Christmas for his whole kindergarten class, and my parents got called in when he revealed that Santa does not exist to everyone in the class.
We almost went this whole episode about revealing your brother did that, because you if you ever ask what kind of person Sam is, just Sarah's go-to story is just that. It's like,
and I mean, look, Sam was not trying to be mean. No. You got to understand who Sam is. Sam has Asperger's syndrome, so it just he was just stating a fact. It wasn't like we're Jewish and we're gonna ruin everything because we don't really care about Christmas. And when I kind of he was just very factual. It's like, Santa isn't real, right? And my parents got called in and they had to apologize. It was terrible.
We were supposed to be talking about gifts and we got on to Santa. Santa was supposed to be later, but
Santa's so
we'll find a way to circle back around.
Santa's a stalker, really.
Santa's just a very interesting concept. If you just accept that he's doing everything in good faith, it's obviously fine, but, it's very bad. Stalking charges, breaking and entering.
From a realistic point of view, you know that it's a felony.
Santa's problematic. He's like Joe from You. He's Joe from You. That's all I'm going to say.
There's still, very good vibes around here. I have a sister that's a little bit younger and still believes. This was about 2 Christmases ago. My sister was 9, so still full-blown Santa Claus coming to town. My sister had a boyfriend at the time whose family was Jehovah's Witnesses, and he was not. So he spent the holidays with us. And even though we're adults, my parents are still very weird about us sleeping in the same bed as our partners and whatnot. The plan was for this boyfriend to sleep on the couch, and my little sister got really upset. And she's like, Skylar can't sleep on the... Oh, shit, I said his name.
All right, I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna make a note to cut it out, but just start again.
Just bleep it.
Okay, so my sister got really upset. My parents tried to figure out what's wrong. She's like, he can't sleep on the couch. He can't sleep on the couch. And they're like, well, why not? And she said, well, you've told me before that I can't sleep on the couch because if I sleep on the couch and try to catch Santa, he won't come. So what happens if he sleeps on the couch? Will Santa not come? So he had to sleep in my sister's room as a result, because otherwise Santa wasn't going to come.
How do you know your sister didn't put up your younger sister up to it?
No, she really didn't. He slept on the couch multiple times for other reasons, just because he came to visit or something. But yeah, no, he had to sleep in our bedroom because he couldn't prevent Santa from coming.
Yeah.
Did you guys do the milk and cookies thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was with my dad, because my thing is when I was with my dad, because my biological parents are divorced. So whenever I had Christmas Eve with my dad, he would leave out beer instead. He would leave out beer. He would leave out his beer, and I'm like, Dad, why are you giving Santa your beer? How do you know he's gonna like it? And he's like, oh, trust me, Zach, don't worry. Santa's gonna like this beer. I guarantee you. He took this beer when I was a kid from my father, and then he's gonna do the same thing when you get older. And then he was.
It's like you'll understand one day, kid.
He was really beating around the bush on that.
Santa needs a little pick me up, son.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then my follow-up question is like, but you say don't drink and drive, but Santa has to fly a sleigh with a bunch of presents and reindeer. Won't that upset the police? And he's like, well, there's no sky police, so no, he won't get pulled over.
The
That's the greatest.
And I really had to think about that, and I'm like, no, there is no sky police. Okay, I guess he's fine. So my child brain just assumed that if he crashed in someone's house, we see it on the news.
The Poorly Written podcast wants to say a PSA: we don't approve of flying and driving.
We don't approve of drinking and driving.
That too.
Don't drink and drive, especially if you're Santa on Christmas Eve. I mean, I imagine Santa has to have a fridge on the sleigh where he just puts all the beer and stuff in the sleigh and then just takes it back and has a party with the elves.
How does Santa go to the bathroom? He's like doing this all night. Like
it's just like going to the bathroom on an airplane, and then eventually like a big ball just falls from the sky and hits some poor man in the face. Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's how Santa drops. That's how Santa drops his coal.
Yeah.
Did you see, kids? That's how I got these scars.
You want to know how I got these scars?
From exactly that.
Let's go back to gifts. Speaking of Santa and gift delivery, back to gifts. See, I did.
Ooh.
Didn't I say I was going to circle this back around?
You
We
did.
didn't believe you though.
Look at that! It's a Christmas miracle.
You went around the roundabout a few times, but we got there.
We got there.
Mike, what was your best gift?
Wow.
Just ask him a loaded question right away in a most stern. Mike, what's your favorite present of all time?
Okay, let me go back into my childhood. Ah, crap! Go back.
Too far.
Okay, I have to say it was probably my first bike.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I remember it was actually like an old hand-me-down. It was an old Schwinn bike, I think.
Those are good.
Schwinn bike.
Legend.
Yeah. Yeah, I tired that thing out. Oh my god. I rode that thing till it basically broke.
Bikes are always fun. My only issue with bikes on Christmas is like if you don't live somewhere warm. Like for me growing up, there'd be like 6 inches of snow. Can't go ride a bike.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't. That's why you get your kids snowmobiles.
I just had to look and be like, that's happened before.
I know it has.
My dad
Happened
has
down here,
my dad
too.
has bought himself a snowmobile for Christmas. He's like, this is my
Oh
Christmas
wow, look
present.
at this, a snowmobile from Santa.
No, he's like, this is a gift to myself. He just do it too. He's
I
like,
was extra
sometimes
good this year.
he's like, sometimes Santa can't make this stuff. But like we're teenagers at that point. My dad still jokes about it. He's like, "Oh, were you a good boy this year? So Santa comes and visits you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I kind of wish he visited my bank account instead."
Tough shit.
Loans for me, Dad. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, gifts. First of all, gift giving is not as easy as some make it out to be. It's very much a guessing game where you just
I
have.
don't know, man. I'm pretty darn skilled at getting gifts. I think I get more of a kick out of that than opening my own gifts because I know.
It's always fun to give a gift and then see someone open it and then watch their reaction. But, I think gift giving is hard. I mean, it's easy when you're... I think you feel like it's easy when you're a parent and your kids are super young because they really want that one thing. The
Right.
one thing, that they saw on TV so they can play with it for a month and then forget about it. That thing.
Yep.
Does anyone have like the best gift they ever gave?
Best gift? No, I just started gift giving.
That's a tough.
I started gift giving when my nephew was born, so that was a few years ago. I started doing that.
Because me and my siblings, like 4 or 5 years ago, we went in on this gift for my father. Because my father's birthday is December 27th. So it's like it's like right in the throes. And my parents' anniversary is December 31st. So we all chipped in to get him a gift. And we got him this thing called a sous vide, which is like used in restaurants to do batch cooking. So like you can cook the meat and keep it at like medium rare, and you could just cook it for longer. So like the bacteria gets killed off, even though it's a little slower, whatever. He liked this gift so much, he started buying other appliances to go with it, and then he bought a second sous vide. So I think that was the best gift. Like, if you know my father, he really likes to cook. And I was mean, and I sent them photos of all of our Hanukkah desserts. And he's making filet mignon tonight or whatever. So once I'm off with you guys, it's going to be a fun Hanukkah. Yeah. But that was a good gift. He's actually using the sous vide we got him to make the filet mignon. So that gift has come in handy. Like, my dad's the type of guy where, like, you'll know he'll want something, but he won't buy it for himself.
Yeah, I feel that.
I mean, that happens because there's some people you just can't buy for, no matter what you do. Don't even try. Just give them the cash. Be like, here you go. Just go buy that thing I know you're going to go buy that I don't know exists.
So you're describing me?
What?
I said you're describing me.
Basically. You know, for an episode that's mostly Christmas, but also all holidays, Sarah has done quite a bit of talking.
You know, I was really bored today. You can ask Lewis. Like, it was on my... So I'm an extrovert. This has not been the year for Sarah.
No, it hasn't. For a lot of reasons.
Than that.
I just noticed you're very chatty today. That's all.
You know, yeah.
That's all.
That's all. But anyways, back to gift giving. I think the best one I got, it was like when I was younger too. I really wanted a Game Boy Advance, but not just any Game Boy Advance. Oh no. I'm talking about a very special edition of Game Boy Advance. I'm talking about... it had the Pikachu on it.
Oh, that is pretty fancy.
Yeah, and I wanted that one. And my mom's like, why do you want that? Like, I was super obsessed with Pokemon at that point.
It's got Pikachu on it, that's why.
Well, that was basically it. And I'm like, I want one with Pikachu, because I was obsessed with Pikachu as a kid. Like, that was my thing, was like Pokemon cartoon shows Saturday mornings, trading cards. I wanted to play Pokemon on the Game Boy. Right. So bad. And then I'm trying to finish my story.
Just wanted to relate to you, Zach. That's all.
And then I open it, and my mom's like, Zach, you don't have the biggest gifts, but it's not the size of the gift. And then I knew exactly what it was right then too, and she got me, and I still have that Game Boy. It's at her house, but
full circle.
Full circle. It's at her house. And it still works and everything. Like, nothing's wrong with it. It works perfectly fine.
Those things can work for decades at the least.
And then the funny thing is that someone tried to buy it off me years later. Because I was, like, I would, like, pull it out and just play it randomly. And some guy was like, hey, I'll buy it off you for $100. And I'm like, if you even think about touching this thing, I will break your nose.
It's probably worth something now, Zach. I definitely looked that up.
Well, I would look it up, but it has... The Pikachu is still mostly there. There's not a lot of damage on it. Like, I would call it bare minimum damage. Like, it's mostly wear and tear at this point because I played it so much.
Right.
But it might be worth something now, but I'm not touching it. I'm not selling it because my mom got me that, and that's sentimental, so no. Unless some idiot with $1 million comes walking by, it's like, yeah, I'll buy it off you. Then at that point, I'd be like, well, you know, $1 million.
It's like, sure.
Sure, and I'll buy it back a few years later when the price goes down. It'll be fine. Well, I'm just kidding. That was one of the best gifts I ever got.
Aww.
It was so...
My favorite was obviously my dog. I love that dog. He was so cute. He was very dumb, but I loved him very much. But I think my other one is a fairly recent one from a few years ago. My parents got me the full DVD collection of the original Powerpuff Girls series.
Ooh, there you go.
That is...
It was the 10th anniversary collection. It came out at almost 12 years ago, but I got it 10 years later after it came out. But I don't know how they found it or what they did, because like you can't find it in stores anywhere. You can't buy it online. But yeah, I love it. I still watch it. It has all kinds of bonus features. It has the original animation from when they were going to put it on Adult Swim. It's great. I had one of our friends ask where I got it, and I told her I got it for Christmas, but I can help you find it. I'm sure it's not that hard. Lo and behold, I did my research. You can't find it on Walmart. You can't find it on Best Buy. You can't find it on eBay unless it's for $500.
How much do you love Powerpuff Girls?
I don't know how much my parents paid for it, but Mom, Dad, if you're listening, thank you. I'm very grateful for you. It's nothing's wrong with it. It was pre-owned, but like it wasn't out of the box or anything. But I love it, and it's worth a lot of money. And I kind of gasped a little. And our poor friend, she'll never get it because it's so expensive.
It's okay. They're there.
There.
Lewis.
Powerpuff Girls fan. I needed it.
All right. Without interrupting Hannah, Lewis, what's your favorite? Like, is there a favorite or a very particular memory of getting a gift?
For me, I would say out of all the gifts I've gotten, as a college kid, I could say, well, my parents said they would cover my textbooks, but that's not my favorite time. My favorite all time would have to be the first drum set.
Oh, there you go, drum sets.
Like when I started actually investing in music, I was, let's see, I think they got the kit when I was 7, so I'm like 7 or 8. They said you have two choices. You can get the Nintendo Wii, or you can get a drum set, because they were all the same. They were both the same. So, and my parents said that this was a gift for me and my brother. So, I said, my brother and I were talking about it. It's like, let's go with the drum set. What's the worst that could happen? And lo and behold, all these years later, I'm still playing music better than that first day on a kit. And yeah, that's basically the gift I look back to. It's like started everything I've experienced doing music. It's like if it wasn't for that gift, who knows where I would have been music.
And I think that's a good point. It's like some of the gifts we get, not sure where we would be without, that one incentive or that one gift. Because, you are talented with music and stuff. I mean, you haven't done drums. You've been doing more bass lately, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been more bass. Every now and then I do get some drum work in, but it's predominantly bass, guitar, that.
It's just weird how gifts kind of like transpire into other things. Sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's very odd because it's like I never thought I was gonna pick up a guitar ever in my life. Well, I took one free lesson from a family friend. I completely hated it when I was like 8 years old. I was like, no, never touch a guitar ever again in my life unless I'm actually looking at one as like a collectible. And then in high school, I was in a couple bands. I was in my high school jazz band, my high school wind ensemble. And then when I did pit bands for the drama club, some friends and I, we did like some instrumental bands. Like we recorded demos and all that good stuff. And then they're like, yo, let's try this out. Let's like switch instruments up. And you play this, you play that. And then it just like clicked with me. So it worked out perfectly. It was that moment that's like, I think about, it's like, okay, I never said I would do this, but I did it again, so.
All right, so we're getting close to the end. I mean, we've talked about some of the stuff, but let's do a gift giving holidays lightning round or whatever. Really quick, we'll just go around and just say one of the weirdest or worst gifts we've ever gotten on, like, during the holiday season.
Oh boy.
The weirdest.
Who wants to go first? Like, we're doing the lightning round.
I'll go first. Okay, so I got myself a bunch of bumper stickers.
I feel like you would. That's just weird. Like, were they any good bumper stickers, or were they just like...
They were just like a mishmash of like, I'm a Jets fan, I'm a Mets fan, my son goes to X school. It's from a white elephant thing.
Also, you got a white elephant gift.
Yeah.
White elephants are so weird.
They are.
Because, like, you just have to get something that's neutral enough. It's not like Secret Santa, but, like white elephants are even... I feel like Secret Santa, at least you know the person and you can go and grab it. Like white elephant, you just have to hope that the right person gets it.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Sarah, was there any gifts that you got that were kind of weird or not great or...
Not really. We do like joint gifts. My parents did joint gifts for me and my siblings. They would get like one big gift and that would be the joint gift. Like Cyrus was the joint gift. Or we got an Xbox as a joint gift, stuff like that. So it would always be one big gift for all three of us.
That's cool.
I mean, that does make sense. It's like, let's just get one very big thing.
I mean, it makes sense because we're all like right there in age. Me and my sister aren't even a year apart. Me and my brother are only 14 months apart. So it worked out age-wise too.
Lewis, any bad, weird, worst gifts you ever gotten?
The worst gift ever came from a Secret Santa. I remember. I think it was like some jokester. No. It was a science kit, like one of those science kits where you put like different like experiments together. But none of it ever worked.
That's true.
Like it's like, oh, you're supposed to make a volcano. Here's the ingredients for it. It's like it's supposed to, once you put it all together, it's supposed to go like, boom, like food coloring in it. It's gonna be like red lava and all that. I mixed the chemicals, nothing happened. I was like, man, this sucks. Meanwhile, people are getting like coin machines where you put the coin into the jar and it tells you what coin it was and it tells you how much is in the jar. I'm like, what the heck is that? They get that, and I get an experiment. I get an experiment that doesn't fucking work. Like, how does that translate? It's like they get a gift that tells you how much money they have and they're not broke. Then there's me. It's like I can't even do one thing. I can't even go to a science fair with this. I won't even get admitted into the fair for this.
What was that, Hannah?
Something I've learned from this episode is Lewis is ungrateful.
Ungrateful. It's just it didn't work.
He's ungrateful and it didn't work.
I'm grateful for everything I've gotten.
You have to be grateful. You just have to accept it.
You have to adapt.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
In that case, I just looked up a volcano online and it worked out beautifully.
There you go, Hannah.
I hate to brag, but I don't think I've ever gotten like crazy weird gift. But one that threw me off and I found odd was I was dating this guy and it was only a few months in. So I mean, we didn't know each other too well, but enough to the point where I think we knew what to give each other for Christmas. And he got me Build-A-Bear. He didn't take me to Build-A-Bear to go build something to be cute. Like he went to Build-A-Bear on Black Friday and built something and then gave it to me. And then he put a voice box in it, like saying like how cool my boyfriend is.
Aw.
Okay.
I still have it. I don't know why. I'm really debating on taking the voice box out because if I like have it on the floor and I step on it or like my cat sleeps on it, I hear his voice. I'm like, ew.
You're like, no. Why wouldn't he just like be like, oh, here's a gift card to Build-A-Bear Workshop. Oh, guess we got to go on a date now.
Yeah, he did get a gift card after spending a certain amount of money at Build-A-Bear on Black Friday. I don't know. I found it odd. It was cute, but like, I think it would have been cuter if we made a date out of it instead of a 19-year-old man going into Build-A-Bear and building a puppy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he meant well behind it, but I was also like, we're only a few months in, and you went to Build-A-Bear.
I think that's the other thing about gift giving is like you gotta know when it's like, do I get a gift card and go with them, or do I just do it myself, or
right?
Because I have no issues going into a place that like a guy like me would not usually go into, but I have no issues going in and be like, hey, can I get a gift card for this place? And Christmas season, and the place being like, oh yeah, we'll do a gift card, But
yeah, now that I'm like thinking about it, that was a weird Christmas anyway, because he also got me like Harry Potter stuff, and I at the time have never seen a Harry Potter movie. He was really into Harry Potter. Like I got him the whole like box collection for Christmas and stuff that year. Which I
that's
to get him. I got him the whole box collection, and he got me a Harry Potter T-shirt. I'm like, I've never seen the movie. I bought the collection, so it was also something we can do together, and I knew it was something he enjoyed and didn't have. Then he got me a Harry Potter T-shirt, and I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Like, you were thinking of yourself.
I'm like, were you just thinking of yourself and put it on me and then just gave it to me? Because that happens.
Right.
That does happen. But
no, definitely Build-A-Bear was definitely the most odd. Like I was very grateful for it, and he thought of me, but like I think that was probably the weirdest one.
Yeah, I would think that would be a little weird. It'd be one thing if it's like, oh, here's a gift card, why don't we go on a date? That'd be a different thing. But
right.
we're not doing relationship stuff this episode. We're doing Christmas stuff. And I guess it's my turn to... I guess it's my turn.
Hold on. Zach, what is a weird gift that you got for Christmas?
Here's the thing, is that I am hard to read. So unless you really know me, it's hard to imagine what I want for Christmas. Okay, so before alcohol. my relatives do not like buying alcohol for me for Christmas or anything. Unless it's like a very special thing, but even then they won't do it. So I usually end up getting gag gifts that I end up just never using. And this has been going on for years and years and years now. Like some of my relatives, I'm not naming names. Some of them will get me like a gag gift or whatever, like like the squirty bubblegum thing. Somebody got me like a giant whoopee cushion that broke immediately when I tried to fill it up and use it on someone. Like I always ended up with gag gifts. And it kind of irks me a little bit. Like, they're just weird. And I'm like, when am I ever going to, like, use this? Even just for, like, the point of a gag.
Right.
I get I'm a hard read, but I'm like, if you don't know, just take the money you would have put towards the gag gift and put it in an envelope. And every time you keep thinking about that gag gift, put it in an envelope, then hand me the envelope Christmas Day.
That's genius.
Like, don't play yourself.
Don't play yourself. But like sometimes, they'll get a gift. They'll get the exact same gift for like all of like the children and stuff, and I'm still considered part of the children, even though I'm like 24 now.
Yeah,
right. That's just kind of hard when you got a larger family. It's like you don't have to go out and buy like a bunch of crazy stuff. You could literally just give me like $20 and be like, oh, here's lunch on me, oh, here's coffee on me, and
Yeah.
Because I'm at the point now where I'm like, I want some practicality, but also if I want something I'm going to enjoy, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna go grab it myself. I am becoming that person, and that's really shitty.
That's fair.
I'm becoming that person, and it's really shitty. But I still love Christmas, so it doesn't matter.
It's all that matters.
It's all that matters. I still enjoy Christmas. I mean, I'm at the point now because, you know, I have like a niece and nephew to the point now where I'm starting to try to do gift giving, especially for the younger kids, you know, like my niece and nephew. I'm like, oh, hey, let me get them, you know, because I want them to have things that they remember, so...
Dude, you're gonna be one of those people, like, I'm telling you right now, as somebody who has, like, a younger child, like, in their life, you're gonna be going to the store, like, going to buy for somebody else, you're gonna be like, oh, that's great for my nephew, or that's great for my niece, and you're gonna end up, like, for 10 different things for your nieces and nephews. And, like, I did that for my sister the other day. I think I bought her more stuff than anybody, and I was like, oh my god, I have a problem.
I did good this year because I paced myself, I budget myself too, and I'm like, here's the cap for everybody, that's it.
Not with her.
And even with my niece and nephew, because this year was like not the best financial year, so I'm just like, yeah, I still want to do something, so. But anyways, that's going to conclude this episode of the Poorly Written Podcast. Yay, holiday episode. Hooray. we have one more episode before the end of the year, and that's going to be the Crappies, you know.
The Crappies.
And that's coming out on New Year's Eve. It's going to be coming out on New Year's Eve. We'll have more details, but if you want those more details, you got to follow us. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we have TikTok, we have the YouTube, and our Discord server. So, you know, definitely check all those out. We'll be announcing more things this week. I'm trying to think because we're recording ahead. Not by much. So, the week of Christmas, we're off. We're not going to have an episode out before the Crappies. So, the last time you hear us before the end of the year.
We care about ourselves and want to spend time with our families while being safe.
While being safe. We're being smart. I'm literally going into a bubble.
I just want my Chinese food and my movie. That's all I want.
Exactly.
All I want.
All right. But, you know, that's going to do it for us.
All I want for Christmas is a cure for COVID.
Well, it's on the way, so don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. But that's going to conclude this episode based on the dog barking getting closer. So we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, the filet mignon.
Oh my god!
Came out.
Oh my god! Cuomo's after you with dogs.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna say bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Somebody's gonna be like, "How dare you say happy holidays?" I'm like, dude, I don't care. Happy holidays.
Yeah, sorry, dinner just got put on the table, so I'm gonna hop off.
Yeah, you hop off. I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah, bye.
Quickly before the dog gets it.